Hey everybody, and welcome to your daily Rocket League news. In today's video, we've got Psyonix teasing that the RLCS10 season is finally here. More details for Beyond the Summits tournament that's coming up shortly here, and plenty of tournament recaps and updates regards to Salt Mine 2 as well as Goldrush. And as always, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit subscribe and turn on notifications as it helps me out greatly, as well as give the video a thumbs up if you like the content. With that said, let's get right into the video. If you guys didn't see the tweet this morning by Rocket League Esports' Twitter, they said something is going on and then it links to their very broken website. The benefit though at the very top of the website is you guys see a globe with the RLCS logo in space rotating in circles. There's been a lot of different kind of theories about what's going on, but the number one thing that was found that most people did is if you hit Control-Shift-I, it'll pull up an inspect element and allow you to look at the source code. And someone ended up finding it before Psyonix actually ended up removing it. It's no longer there now, but if you actually end up looking at this video, you can see that the name of the file is RLCSX, RLCS10, living loop 2m.mp4. A lot of people think 2m stands for 2 million, but it's actually 2 minutes. It's a 2-minute loop, timed it myself, and every 40 seconds is when you get that flash of light. It works out perfectly. I was trying to see if that flashlight lines up in timing with anything, but it lights up over Africa, somewhere in Asia, as well as Mexico. Whether that means anything or not, I don't know, but there has been a lot of people that are trying to figure out theories about what this means. This is something that Epic Games does a lot with Fortnite. But you can see when the, clouds and the lightning happens at the distance, you can start to see, numbers if you're looking for it hard enough. On the top left side, I see a 6. On the top right side, I see an 8. And because that date is already passed, I'm going to flip the numbers and just go out on a massive guess. I highly doubt this is, but it's a wild theory. August 6th, that's going to be the day that RLCS 10 starts. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. A lot of people said they also saw a bunch of numbers on the very bottom right of that, but again, I think we're all just spitballing and hoping for things, trying to figure out stuff and seeing stuff placebo-wise that isn't actually there. Either way, awesome to see that they're trying to do a big announcement, and what many of us believe this is going to be the announcement for the big changes that are coming to the format for Rocket League. If you guys have not seen that or don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that format, a video will be linked somewhere up here. Click on that, watch it in detail. It's got an image and everything else you need to know about the specifics of what's actually going to be happening, hopefully in the following seasons. But Psyonix has yet to confirm it. Hasn't told us how the points are being weighed or any of that kind of stuff. So we just got to sit and wait. But when it is out, you better believe I will make a video on it. Next up, Beyond the Summit ended up putting out some more format details in regards to how their tournament's going to go down. Originally, we talked about how it was just going to be a double elimination bracket, but in this graphic, you should be able to see that they're doing something a little bit different as a side tournament. Still $45,000 prize pool, but they have what is called a wheel and deal format, where what will end up happening is in this graphic, you should be able to see that everybody has a deck of cards. In that deck of cards, you have the ability to have up to a max of 20 cards, 5 game mode cards, 5 map cards, 5 modifier cards, and 5 team size cards. So through all of these, you have the ability to pick and mix and match based upon what you want out of your 5 total. And what is going to happen is, we don't know the exact details yet, but apparently the teams are going to either alternate, or there's going to be a certain way on which they pick 2 of those cards to determine what the game mode is going to be for this tournament. So as a scenario to kind of explain it, say Team 1 plays Team B. What'll end up happening is Team 1 will pick 2 cards from all of their deck. I assume what's going to happen is they're going to be told which ones they get to pick from. I assume they'll do an alternate. So like Team 1 will pick game mode and Team 3 will pick team size, while Team 2 will pick map and modifier. And that'll change based upon like what seed they are or what they come in. I don't know the exact details of how they're going to do that, but I assume that's how they'll do it. So they end up then picking from their cards, and that determines what game mode and what game series and how many players we get to watch. Kind of a cool concept to see how this is going to work if they do captains or who's involved. We still don't know the broadcast talent or what players are competing or who exactly is involved in all this, so it should be really fun. But they do also talk about how there is a penalty if you don't have the card that you need to play. So interested to see what these penalties are. Hopefully it's something goofy, making them wear costumes like they have in the past, or who honestly knows what's going to happen with this. But it should be a unique spin, and either way it's going to be something fun to watch. Hopefully we get to see some personalities, and that's the benefit of doing things like drop shot and hoops, is that it is less serious and there's modifiers. So hopefully we get to see some of those personalities shine. Next up, in Salt Mine 2, we have finally gotten through all 4 qualifiers for both North America and Europe, and it's been a lot of games. but we finally have our final 8 for both of the brackets. Start over on Europe because they usually play earlier in the day, and we've got Ocalid, Lewis, Astral, apparently Jack, Dead Monster, Yoris, Zemwe, and Revzi. 4 of these players ended up qualifying by winning their actual qualifier, but the only one that ended up playing in multiple was actually Astral. He played in qualifier 2 where Dead Monster ended up winning, so he had to play again in qualifier 4 and ended up qualifying in that way. The other 4 players ended up having to play in multiple qualifiers, and their accumulation of points is what got them into the final bracket. Again, you can see the matchups in the bracket that I've been displaying this entire time to see how the matches are going to play out. We're going to get some really spicy 1v1 matches already in the beginning. Over to the North American side, First Killer, Mile, AJ, and Magic Bear were your 4 that ended up making it through the qualifiers. You actually ended up seeing a couple of players play in multiple qualifiers this time. In this case, it was Mile as well as Magic Bear. But then we also have Lion Blaze, Kinsey, Sharif, and J-Bot being the ones that qualified through the point system after playing in multiple qualifiers. Surprisingly though, J-Bot ended up getting 15 points and only playing in qualifier 4, so congrats to him for getting pretty much the bare minimum to get all the way into the finals. Again, you can see how the matches are going to play out here with the bracket displayed. And again, some really exciting ones. I think the biggest one for me is going to be watching that AJ versus Kinsey game as the last game of the quarterfinals. We then jump over to the other tournament that went down today in Goldrush Revival, the 3rd iteration of Goldrush with $5,000 prize pool for both NA and EU, $10,000 total. And if you guys don't know what this is going on, there's 4 captains, Subpar and HD, which is Cole and Stumpy, CJ, Verge, and Athena. These players got up early this morning and ended up drafting players out of a pool of 12. Once they made their teams, and you guys should be able to see all the teams that are showing right now, based upon how they were drafted and what they came through, they ended up playing then in a double elimination bracket. The difficulty with this is the main stream that was displaying this today had a lot of audio issues, so you don't get to really watch it. The benefit is you got to see that all the players, all the commentators, and everybody involved, including the captains, were streaming from their own channels and watching that way, so you got to kind of see a little bit more behind the scenes that way. In the bracket, it was pretty much a landslide. I mean, quite honestly, it seems like Verge was the only one who took it seriously despite naming his team incorrectly. He had Fairy Peak, Nolly, and Roniki, and man, did they look good. You really see sometimes in these individual games how important these players are to their teams. So, again, I mean, you had CJ basically redraft the old Mouse squad, and then you saw Athena redraft the old Method squad. So, again, some memes here and there, a lot of close friends and some good banter, but the real competition was legitimately only through Team Rocket and Team Rule 1. So, there was some pretty funny moments. I watched a lot of CJ's stream, and the gameplay was pretty much Scrub just chasing for demos. I think in one of the games where they ended up sweeping Team Yep, they didn't even, I don't think he even touched the ball more than twice in an entire game. Like, it was tomfoolery at its best, and it's what these moments are all about, is just having a good time and providing some content. So, again, really fun stuff all around. I enjoyed the watch. And we've got NA going on tomorrow. North America tomorrow will start at 3 p.m. Eastern. And the players that will be drafted will be Reddles, Arsenal, Gyro, Chicago, Garrett G, Justin, Kronovi, Sathu, Turbopulsa, Dapper, Rizzo, and Mist. The only one I know for insight is CJ says he has to have Turbo because Turbo wins. He's the clutch, he's the enforcer, and he does whatever he can to get those victories. Again, that starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. That'll be on Goldrush's Twitch channel. Should be a good one. I'll probably be watching it as well in chat. That is going to wrap it up for this video and the Rocket League news for the day. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, you name it, put those down below in the comments. I'll do my best to respond and get back to you. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. And if you guys have yet to do so, please make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications as we're slowly climbing up to 20,000, which I greatly appreciate. That is going to do it for me. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
I believe my words were, there's a guy in the building.
Okay, listen. Lawler was speaking nonsense too. I couldn't hear you over him.
Said two-story.
I wasn't paying attention, okay?
Aimbot, 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 aimbot,
That's
aimbot.
both of you.
Yeet.
I love the vector in like any like shooter game.
So OP as hell in
So bad I
any
don't have
game.
mine right now because I messed up.
Helicopter?
Next to us.
You're insane. Goodbye, pilot.
Dropped it.
Alright, he was right behind loadout. I see him. Oh.
By the wall on the break.
Yeah.
Team white.